Good evening, Warriors! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well this evening. We're doing one late again. Work is piling up, my friends. Got 65 hours a week I'm working, so I only get a chance to kind of do one of these every so often. I'm kind of warming the car up a little bit. Beautiful weather out here, about 11 o'clock at night. Excellent weather. It's beautiful, nice and cold, snowy. Kind of way I like it. I like it that way. So anyway, thank you guys for all the comments, likes, donations. I love everything. Is blessed. I feel very blessed that we have all these people who are kind of getting the ideas and words. I'm seeing it when I look up Google searches now, semen retention benefits, and it's nice to see that after all this time that we're doing this. So again, thank you guys. I did start putting some going back to some shout outs here. Let me see if there's anybody I want to really kind of point out that had something that I wanted to say. Let's see. We did talk about Stefan Parker. My condolences, my friend, about your brother. Create, heal, inspire. Keep battling, my friend. Keep battling. And don't give up. And then I think I had Eddie Ed, we're going to talk about wet dreams and how long it takes to recover. So I appreciate that. We'll get to that one. I did a couple of those before, but we'll go back to it. And Don Von, life's investing, a good point. Talking about Vigor meeting, and he wants to meet. Guys, I haven't been, and I have to kind of apologize. I said I was going to try to get this done, and I'll keep trying to think about getting it done. I'm trying to kind of get a stream together or something that we can kind of talk and answer questions and talk to people directly. But until then, I'm going to kind of keep just putting out the videos until I can kind of get some time for that. But what I'll probably do is make an announcement and sign that we're going to probably do some sort of streaming at a certain point in time, and I'll be on there, and we'll try that. Probably try that over the next couple months and give it a shot. So thank you guys for the encouragement, and we'll go ahead and do that. All right, today's topics from our viewer Impooser. I think it's Impooser. I guess I don't know if I'm saying that right. Impooser. Hope you guys are doing well. A great comment. He's talking about the internet and semen retention. So let's kind of delve into this one a little bit and see what we come up with. So let's look at the way our society is currently. We're talking about a lot of chaos, a lot of different opinions people have, a lot of people going to a lot of other sources for their news. We've talked about the fake news, all kinds of things, talking about what is reality, what can we trust and not trust. One of the things that's happening in our society that I think we're bringing people to the awareness that not just because they see something on television or on the internet or on their phones doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Somebody tells them something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Just because I say something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I think we're going to find out that it's important to do research and find out what the answers are to things. Like, for instance, semen retention. I had to kind of find out the hard way in working with it over the years that this really was the best thing. And I finally decided to take that chance, and I'm at 970 some days and close to that. So we're doing pretty well with this right now, and at no releasing for almost 1,000 days. So, but it took me, guys, I'm 61, so it took me 47 years to actually kind of get to the point where I can actually do this. One of the reasons I'm doing these videos is to kind of get the word out. Hopefully you guys take advantage of some of this information we're talking about on the channel and a lot of the things that you guys are talking about to me, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of get people to take advantage of that more so they don't have to suffer through 47 years of this and try to get this done within their 20s and 30s. But the internet is something that is can be, like anything else, a tool. Can be for the good and bad. You can, if you watch it long enough, you can get brainwashed by it. And if you don't watch it at all, you won't be affected by it. But you could be infected in between depending on what you're watching. It becomes addictive. We know that. You know that we're supposed to stay away from all the types of images on there that create the temptation. But part of the internet type of thing is the fact that the images and pictures are appealing, especially to men. Women like it for the attention, That's why they do a lot of selfies and all kind of social media stuff. The men obviously like to look at the visual. And so the Facebook itself is not, not that important except for the pictures. And so this becomes, the internet and social media especially becomes a dangerous game for men especially. Women, because they focus on relationships and other things, at first at least, beyond the physical, are not as impacted, in my opinion at least, as males are. Because males are visually oriented. So anything a male sees on internet, that will appeal to them. Whether it's a game of football or soccer, or basketball, or some sort of car, or some sort of house, or something that appeals to them, or a woman who looks good, they will get attracted. So Instagram, things like that, OnlyFans, these things become really important for people, and so they spend a lot of money. And this is why you can just see these girls making tons of money, because they're interacting in a picture form, and as they have words behind it, but what they're seeing is the picture. This is what's enticing young men, older men at any age. They get enticed by this. So when you're looking at the visual. And there's a reason for that, because a lot of males, as they're in their 20s and 30s, their job is to start the procreation process, and they're the ones who are, passing on the energy. And so obviously you want to be very careful on how you're passing it, but visually you're perked up as soon as you see something. And your mind kicks into gear subconsciously, and I think it's biological, that you're going to go ahead and reproduce with something that you find very attractive. And because a lot of the pictures on the internet are, photoshopped and, not real, the movies that people are just made up, they don't look like half that way when they're in real life, then people tend to get, it's an illusion, it's a fantasy, and men get attracted to that. However, what ends up happening is they're doing it so much, it actually hurts them. They lose energy, they become zombies, and then when they try to do it, they become really like they have dysfunctions, erectile dysfunctions, things like that in their 20s, and it's just unbelievable. But it's because they've released so many times that they can't actually get excited when they actually have a live woman who has imperfections in their body. It's not like they're looking on TV. It's not the same type of movie that they're seeing on TV is playing out. It's like a normal just reaction of having intercourse with somebody. That's not the same thing, so they don't get the excitement of that. What ends up happening, guys, is that we look at those internet pictures, and now we need to get more excitement. And just having a regular type of excitement doesn't excite us. This is why you should not be watching images. This is why internet can be very bad. That's why I always recommend men especially look to the internet just for goal setting, part of what you're trying to do goal-wise. Because what ends up happening is that you become desensitized to the images, and now you want more and more images, and you're not satisfied then with what you're seeing. And in real life, you're not going to have the same type of images 99% of the time. I don't care what people dress like, no matter how they act, they're not going to act like they do in those movies 99% of the time, and they're not going to look like they do. And so you're not going to get as excited because you remember you're seeing the pictures. This is why in the mind you have to get away from the pictures. You have to get away from all that internet stuff, and you have to go ahead and kind of, if you're gonna at least have images, have them images come to you outside of the internet, because your mind is not going to be coaxed by what they're seeing on the screen. If you do that more times than not, then all of a sudden at least you can deal with the situation, and you're going to at least have some level of reaction. Because if you become dead in the water, as we talked about before, you got to have some sexual energy to be able to transmute it. But if you're dead in the water and you become so desensitized and you lost all your energy, you're not going to have anything to nutrients to build your body back up, and to actually look younger than you are, and look more, have more vigor and vitality at that point. So a lot of it, guys, is how you're using the internet. Like anything else, it's a tool. Use it to get research, look for up things, get it to try to make sure you're on the right track for your goals. Make sure you're using it to try to get information. But I would not use it at all to start focusing on, developing relationships. And I know nowadays a lot of people meet online, a lot of people do that, but I would be aware of that. Even, and I'm giving you an old type of philosophy here, I realize that. But realize that the pictures are attracting the men, not the person. And women realize that. Women have been around for thousands of years too. They realize, they're always back to day one. It's how the woman looks, because men are programmed to procreate. And that's what they do, and that's when they see a picture, they're getting ready to procreate. Now, let's do a picture, so therefore all they're doing is releasing to the air, and they're draining themselves. The Lord never really, in my opinion, wanted that to happen. They want you to be ready to procreate, so the time comes that woman is something that you can, you can have a future with, and children with, and to prosper like the Lord wants you to do. But this idea of just looking at pictures and to focus on the internet is not something that's going to benefit you in the long run. So I think that with Impooser's question here, it's a very good one. We have to use the internet wisely. I mean, it's a technology, a lot of people using Twitter, Facebook, all these type of things, Instagram. But you have to use it in a sense where it's not putting you in danger of temptation. And that, warriors, is the key. Using it to benefit you in the long run to achieve those goals you're looking for. Not to put yourself in a temptation role. Well, now you're trying to figure out, how can I get out of this without releasing? And if I release, I'm going back to the same old pattern that I had. So that's the important thing. With it becoming more and more prevalent, it is a challenge. It's a big challenge. It's almost as big as the semen retention challenge. But trying to use the internet in ways that's going to benefit you in getting your goals accomplished is the key. Not just doing it for pleasure and fun, those type of things. All right, so once again, Impooser, thank you. A shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to several people I'll put in descriptions. But you guys have a good rest of your evening. We'll try to do one tomorrow if we can. Herman Melville had a nice comment about high status women and SR. And the question is, can a man be with a high status woman? We will answer that question next time. So until next time, my friends, two things you always remember. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, every day you need to battle on! Battle on! Until next time, guys. God bless you guys. Have a great evening.